All right, so we all hope you enjoyed the Arda Okal interview. We greatly appreciated him for coming on. It was awesome. We will definitely have him on again. But regardless, as you can tell, we got a little bit of a different thing going on here. We are going to be doing our first mock draft for the 2024 NHL draft. So we're doing a joint kind of draft here where each of us will take a turn making a pick and we'll kind of just go that way from there. So we got Carter starting off here with the first overall pick from the San Jose Sharks. Carter, who are you taking at number 1 overall?
Well, with the first pick in the 2024 NHL draft, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Macklin Celebrini, center, Boston University.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be obvious, or I think it should be obvious that Celebrini is the consensus first overall pick. I think that nobody should be surprised by that. Sorry if you can't see me on the screen; it's a little bit weird. But regardless, moving into second overall with Jack's favorite team here, the Chicago Blackhawks. Jack, who are you taking at second overall?
With the second overall pick in the NHL draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are proud to select Ivan Demidov, right wing and center from St. Petersburg, Russia.
Carter's a little in shock. Carter, why are you in shock here?
I don't know. I just figured that Chicago could probably use a defenseman, but I don't know.
Yeah,
We
that
could,
is
but
something.
I want to build up that forward core.
That's valid. That's valid.
So you're working with you want to get Korchinski going before you add other defensemen.
Korchinski is going to be a great player.
Okay. All right. So with the third overall pick in the NHL draft, the Anaheim Ducks are proud to select from Michigan State defenseman Artem Levshinov. So I want to go explain here a little bit. When the Ducks traded Jamie Drysdale, they gave up a really good right-handed defenseman. With a guy like Levshinov, who is playing really well for Michigan State and was a big part in why they were so consistent through a long stretch of time here. I think that Anaheim, it would be dumb to not go with him here at third overall if they get third. I think that would be the best pick for them. So yeah, I have Artem Levshinov, right defenseman from Michigan State at third overall. So we'll go back to Carter here for fourth overall with the Columbus Blue Jackets. So Carter, who are you taking at fourth overall?
Well, with the fourth overall pick in the 2024 NHL draft, Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select Sam Dickinson, London Knights.
Ooh, my boy Sam Dickinson.
Lefty.
Lefty, yes. I don't hate that pick. I like that pick a lot for Columbus. I think Columbus needs defensemen.
They need a defenseman to pair a guy with David Urich,
Yeah.
whatever his last name is. Kind of nice to have.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. At fifth overall, we're moving through this relatively quickly. That's okay. For the Montreal Canadiens, Jack Polko, who do you have being selected by the Canadiens at fifth overall?
At the fifth overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens are very proud to select Cole Eiserman, left wing out of the U.S. development program.
I don't hate this. I don't hate that pick at all. I think
he's awesome.
Yeah, I think that with Eiserman, I think the right fit would be Montreal, to be honest with you. I really do believe that, Eiserman's fallen down the rankings a lot, and we'll get into this when we do our other drafts. His skating has been a big factor. He has really good goal scoring, but his skating has been a big effective factor. I think for Montreal, it'd be perfect because Montreal's still ways away. They have scores in there like Caulfield, like Slavkovsky. They have some good names there. I think Cole Eiserman will be a good fit for the Canadiens, and many would argue that he is a steal. So, yeah. All right, with my pick going to my Arizona Coyotes, which could be Salt Lake City now. Who knows at this point? So with that pick, I thought a lot about this, but I think I'm going to go with Caden Lindstrom from Medicine Hat in the WHL, having a pretty good season with 46 points in 32 games played, has missed some time with injury, but still looks like a very effective player. And I think Arizona would be stupid not to go with him. Now, I don't hate the fact that if they go with a defenseman like Zane Perrick or Anton Silyev, but I feel like they go best player available here and go with Caden Lindstrom. So we'll go back to Carter with the Ottawa Senators. Carter, who do you have going at seventh overall to the Ottawa Senators?
Well, with the seventh overall pick in the 2024 NHL draft, the Ottawa Senators are proud to select Berkeley Canton Spokane Chiefs.
Ooh, so Carter, have you seen Batten play at all?
Catton?
Can.
Berkeley? No, because Winnipeg doesn't have a fucking team.
Ah, yes, I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That hurts. That hurts.
I'm sorry. Last year, for those who didn't know, Carter actually worked for the Winnipeg Ice before they relocated to I forget what it's called. Somewhere in Washington State.
Wenatchee. The
Yeah.
Wenatchee Wild.
So yeah, sorry, Carter. Sorry for bringing up past memories and war crimes. But yeah,
That hurts. That hurts.
Berkeley Cannon at 7th overall, the Spokane Chiefs. I don't hate that pick either. Ottawa wants some solid. They want another really solid forward, and I think Cannon would be a good pick. 8th
He's a
overall.
good scorer, man.
Yeah, 8th overall to the Calgary Flames. Mr. Polko, who are you taking?
With the 8th overall pick, the Calgary Flames are proud to select Zane Parekh. I think how do you say Parekh?
Parekh.
Yeah.
Right defenseman from Saginaw.
Yeah, I don't hate this either. I feel like Calgary's, I mean, even though they need some work on the forward core, I do think that they lost a lot of big name defensemen. And I do feel like it'd be a good idea to get a guy like Parekh. Now, Jack, why are you not picking T. Iginla here? Ignala, as you call Iginla's name. Ignala, as you called it in the one.
I feel like that's more the emotional pick. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. I do respect you for that. So back to me here with the Buffalo Sabres. Now, Buffalo, you look at what their big problem was this year. You would argue that it probably was the defense. You could argue the goaltending here a little bit, but it probably was the defense. So I'm going to go with 6'7" Anton Silyev, a left defenseman from Torpedo. Carter does not like that I took that pick at all from him.
No.
Silyev, a very tall forward, doesn't score a lot of points, but you want to have a really good physical guy on your blue line, and I feel like a guy like Silyev would really benefit being on Buffalo, a team that does not have necessarily that great of a defense. So yeah, Anton Silyev going at number 9th overall to the Buffalo Sabres. So moving relatively quick here, we're into the number 10 slot. It is the New Jersey Devils. So Carter, who do you have going at 10th overall to the Devils?
Well, it's no longer Anton Silyev.
My apologies.
Because the Devils could use some size on that blue line for sure. So, oh my gosh, you know what? We're gonna not go size here. We are gonna take another skilled defenseman on a blue line here. We're gonna take Zeev Bynum, left defenseman from the University of Denver.
Yeah, really made a name for himself after the World Juniors when USA won it this year. Really made a big name for himself because I honestly didn't know who the guy was prior to that, but he's done really good on Denver since then, 49 points in 40 games played. So I don't hate that pick for the Devils. I think that even though Buyum is a much shorter player when you look at it, I think he still can be an effective one. Going 11th overall to the Seattle Kraken. Jack, who do you have going at 11th?
The Seattle Kraken are proud to select Carter Yakimchuk, right defenseman out of Calgary.
All right. I don't hate this pick either. I like Yakimchuk a lot. I think Seattle definitely needs some size on their blue line. Yakimchuk, not as tall as Silyev, but still has some decent size to him at 6'3". Doing pretty good for Calgary right now. I don't hate that pick. I like that pick a lot. So Yakimchuk at 11, and me and Carter, it's time to configure here together for the 12th overall pick with Philadelphia. So what are we thinking here? Do we want to go with Iginla, or do we want to go with someone like Helenas or Greentree?
So my only thing is the thing that sucks is I think that realistically with this pick, my hope is that the Flyers would be able to take a defenseman.
That's true.
But there's no defenseman available right now. So I feel like at this point you just got to take the best player on the board. In my opinion, that'd be Iginla.
Yeah, so with the 12th overall pick in the draft, the Flyers are going to select T. Iginla from Kelowna Rockets, a forward. I agree with Carter. I do think that if the situation comes to be, I think they should go with a defenseman, but it sucks because 4 straight defensemen were taken before them, and that's pretty much the entire defensive board. Unless you want to go with a risk there with Adam Juracek, I feel like you would want to go with a guy like T. Iginla. But the thing is, though, Juracek was hurt for the majority of the year. He played for Czechia for 1 game in the World Juniors and then was hurt for the rest of the year. So that's a little bit of a riskier pick. I do like Iginla. I think that Iginla would do well in Philadelphia. I don't hate it, but then I do agree with Carter. I think it'd be better if Calgary or the Flyers went with a defenseman. But hey, maybe Calgary at 8th overall, if they get 8th overall, maybe they go with Iginla anyways. Going back to San Jose, which is via the Pittsburgh Penguins pick. Carter, you're picking the Sharks again, so you're essentially building the Sharks' future up here. I want to know, what is your 13th overall pick in this draft?
Well, I think with the 13th overall pick in this draft, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Liam Greentree,
Ooh,
right wing, Windsor.
okay. I don't hate that either. Greentree has been on a very bad Windsor team.
And he's played really well.
He has played really well. I do worry though, from people that I know who work for the Windsor Spitfires, there is some character issue there. There is some issue that he thinks he's better than everyone, which might be a factor why he drops to 13th. But being on a team like San Jose with a team like Celebrini, if they get them, a guy like Colin Graff, Will Smith, man, they're building a pretty good future there if they get these two players. So we'll obviously see there. But again, San Jose is kind of a team too that I feel like they could go with a defenseman. But then again, there's a lot of defensemen on here who are kind of a risk when you just look at the overall numbers. Like the next best guy, I mean, Cole Hudson is on the board. Lane Hudson's brother, Cole, is on the board here as well, and Adam Juracek too. It's just a worry because those defensemen aren't as reliable as the other guys that were picked. So yeah, Greentree to Windsor. Moving down the list here, 3 more picks, 1 more from each of us. At 14th overall to the Washington Capitals. I know this is probably not accurate anymore, but Jack, who are you taking at 14th overall?
At 14th overall, I have the Capitals taking Konsta Helenius. He's a center and a right wing, and he plays overseas somewhere. I'm not quite sure where.
He plays in Jokerit in the Finnish league. I have it open right here. So with Helenius, I like this pick a lot too. A much shorter player, only 5'11", so doesn't have really the height status to him, which is okay. But I do think that Helenius has a solid chance at being a very effective player. He is shorter, but he's playing in a league full of men. He's playing in a league where there are adults playing in that league. So I feel like Helenius has that advantage to him. He has that experience. So maybe Helenius would not be a bad fit there with the Capitals. At 15th overall for me, I feel like, I don't know. I think Minnesota kind of goes off the board here a little bit. I feel like they go with a guy like Trevor Connolly, a left wing from the Tri-City Americans, who I think is committed to whatever this school is here on my thing. But yeah, Providence. So Trevor Connolly is at 15th overall to the Minnesota Wild. So with the final pick in the first NordCast draft from the 2024, Carter, who is your pick for the St. Louis Blues?
Realistically, I think that St. Louis could probably use a defenseman here. So I think they're going to take the best defenseman on the board. I know he as you said, he's been hurt, but they're going to take Adam Juracek. HC Plzen. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
PLZEN.
Yeah,
close enough.
Yeah, so HC PLZN, something around there. But yeah, Juracek, as I said, has been injured a lot, but I do think he can be an effective defenseman. I don't think he's as good as David, but still, I think Adam could be a pretty solid player there for the St. Louis Blues. So yeah, that is our first mock draft for the 2024 NHL draft. If you guys had to grade our picks overall, how do you guys think we did?
I think this is pretty good. I would give it an A.
I think we did pretty good. I'm gonna give it an A-. I think we did pretty well. I feel like there's some picks we could have did better on, but again, considering the fact, I think we did pretty well. I'm giving it an A-.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll give it A-, one of those two. I think that, this is a very, very solid draft. And obviously, as we get closer to the time, we're gonna figure out who wants what.
Okay, cool. Good to know. So regardless, that will conclude episode number 51 of the NordCast. Sorry we didn't play any games here at the end. Kind of with the O'Call interview and with this going on, we didn't really want to do specifically any other games besides Jack's guest player. So regardless, with it, we'd like to thank you all very much for watching and listening to this episode of the NordCast. We greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed on the YouTube end of things, make sure to like and subscribe down below. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you are on the podcast end of things, make sure to give us a good review and give us a nice little like. If you want to follow the NordCast Instagram, be sure to follow here. I have it on screen. Follow at NordCast_. A lot of great clips there, a lot of good takes. We just started posting our leaderboard for each draft, for each award. So Go check that out there. I know it was backwards. I know you guys are smiling at that because it was backwards, wasn't it?
No. I'm smiling because you said some great takes, and then our last take that was posted on there was
Yeah.
Jack's. So.
Oh, yes. Anthony stole ours, guys. Anthony stole ours. And if you want to follow the TikTok, you guys can. It's at NordCast. It's another good place there where we see a lot of good takes. So yeah, regardless, let me know your thoughts and comments section down below on this post. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Adios.